Hi everyone, my name is Grady Wheeler. I work on internal communications in the County Administrative Office, and today I'm joined by Alicia Sojourner, the Office of Access and Opportunity Director, and this is going to be the first conversation in a series of 5 conversations that we have planned, where we're going to address why our language around equity and inclusion is changing, what the terms we're using actually mean and the impacts they're intended to have, how it will show up in all of our work, how the work will still recognize individuals' lived experience, and the role employees have in talking about access and opportunity. So this is the first episode. Like I said, we're going to talk about why the language around this work is changing. Alicia, thanks so much for making the time for this discussion.
Thank you for having me.
So let's start with the big question. Why have we shifted from the Office of Equity, Inclusion, and Community Engagement to Access and Opportunity?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll say first that this is not a shift, it's an evolution. Language has always evolved in the work around what we have currently called diversity, equity, and inclusion. When I first started in my career, we were calling it multiculturalism. Evolution of language has always navigated within social justice work. For us, this evolution to access and opportunity is about aligning our language that is strategically effective, focuses on outcomes, but also rooted in civil rights law and is compliant with our current executive orders as well. Access and opportunity does still emphasize fair processes and procedures, still is about removing barriers, whether we created them or not, and ultimately ensuring that everybody benefits from public service, whether that's us as staff or the community that we're serving. It is truly an evolution of how we do our work in our language, not a departure or a complete stop.
Got it. So some folks might hear this shift and wonder, are we stepping back from racial justice or inclusion? Does this mean we're doing less for communities that have been historically excluded?
Short answer, no. Longer answer is the core of access and opportunity is rooted in the 2020 Equity Resolution. It is rooted in civil rights compliance. And I would also add target universalism as well. So we're not pulling back our work, we are involving it so that everybody can see themselves in this work. Because right now, not everybody sees themselves in this work. And so this hope is that regardless if you work at the sheriff's office or in housing or in facilities, that you can see yourself in this work and why it's important, and that the outcomes that improves individuals' lives, that we all can see those improvements as well. So not scaling back, because it's all rooted within that. And our ultimate hope is that every single person in the county can see themselves within this journey and knows their role to play within this journey as well.
Can you spend a second talking about what targeted universalism is?
Absolutely, great question. Targeted universalism really came out of, I would say, the ADA work, and that is like designing, and that is you focus on what community is most critically affected by what you're going to build. And then you focus on that community, and while it improves for that community, it automatically improves for others. So a quick example is curb cutouts in sidewalks. When I get to a curb that doesn't have one, I feel disrespected, number one. Number two is those curb cutouts were created for individuals who are utilizing wheelchairs. But I have a small dog. It helps my dog get up and up and over curves. People who are pushing strollers, it can help them. Those young kiddos or maybe older kiddos who likes to ride their skateboard. Like these curb cutouts, while it was targeted for individuals with disabilities, primarily people who use wheelchairs, it actually helps so many more than just those individuals. And so that's another piece of this too, is focusing on the individuals or the communities who are most impacted and making those decisions that will help us all at the end.
Got it. Thank you. So why does language matter so much within this evolution?
Language matters because how we talk about words affect how people receive it, how people engage with it, and ultimately how we create outcomes based on the language. These words keep the focus on outcomes and fairness, which is something most people, regardless of their background, regardless of their views, can get behind. I think most folks, I believe most folks do believe in fairness. I do believe that all of our staff here want to serve the community members as best as they can, but we need language right now that can help us steer us in that direction. Let's just be honest right now with this conversation and just call out the terms diversity, equity, and inclusion. While they mean different things for different people, those words right now are polarizing, and they've been misunderstood by a variety of people. And so as we are thinking about how we best serve the community and each other as staff, we want to make sure that we are moving forward with a conversation that invites everybody to the table, if you will, to get excited about advancing access to community members and providing opportunities. So yes, language does matter, and that's why I love that we're having this conversation, so we can share with the entire staff, but also the wider community, why language is important and why we're doing this work now.
Got it. Thanks, Alicia. Thanks for taking the time today. And like I said, this is just the beginning of the conversation. We have 4 more planned, and in the next discussion, we're going to really get into the type of outcomes that we are hoping will result from the shift in language about access and opportunity. Thanks for joining us today.